What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to give you a good overview of what truly is happening to Lucid. Why is it going down as much as it is, and potentially how low can things go? So I'm going to go over all that. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So today it is down 4.26%, a new 52-week and all-time low of $5.46. And like I said already, this is a little bit more of a falling knife. And normally in the past, a lot of institutions have bought the dip essentially and caused it to go up. But in today's case, just big money is taking a step back from Lucid. So it is a little bit more of a change of events. And also on a side note, I do see a lot of people, for instance on StockTwit, saying that it is shorts that's causing this, which in reality isn't necessarily the truth. So right now, shorts are increasing 1.47 million shares, 17.03% of the free float's being shorted, and that works out to be 139.25 million shares. So the fact that they're increasing 1.47 or 1.5 million shares today is nothing, because the fact is there is a grand total of almost 33 million shares being traded today. So this 1.5 million from shorts is not going to do any substantial damage. What in all honesty has been as a result why it's going down as much as it is kind of stemmed back down to them needing money, that whole dilution. And as I've said in the past, almost every single earnings, Sherry has said, well, we have sufficient amount of cash until mid-2024, or give some random number. But the fact that they did dilute at this stage $3 billion is mind-blowing. So again, it has to do with just Lucid's management, and it really does suck. But even though technically things are looking down, I did buy in yesterday at $5.80 because my mentality is bigger picture. It's not so much worrying about the short-term stuff. I'm not trying to catch the exact bottom. I just want to buy Lucid, forget about it, look at it on occasion, obviously do videos for you guys. But other than that, I know Lucid is going to do a lot of good things in the future. Just short-term, it's going to most likely continue because, like I mentioned, people's just inability to trust the management to reduce expenses, meaning they are going to be diluting because they still have a very active S3 that they can continue to grab money from if needed. And unfortunately, from what it is looking like, they probably will. And in addition to that, though, like I mentioned, big money is just not getting in because of the multiple. And of course, when it comes down to the multiple, a lot of people look at a lot of these numbers, such as the PS ratio, to see exactly how much they are spending equivalently to earn obviously cash, and in relation to the stock price and so forth. For instance, the current PS ratio on Lucid is 20.2 versus the future is 8.5. When it comes down to comparables, so obviously looking within the same sectors. So for instance, Tesla, you can see right here, it is 6.7x versus the future is 5.3. And so once again, in comparison, Lucid is very, very expensive in compared to even Tesla, and now even looking at Rivian, which is 5.9x, and the future is 2.6. So a lot of people are paying for Lucid at a very, very high premium to what they actually do offer. So a lot of institutions, I feel, are starting to look at that, and that whole $3 billion dilution was a little bit more of a shocking aspect because that was a lot earlier than even I was anticipating. And some people seem to hate on me, even though I buy Lucid and I am an actual investor, but I like to bring up all aspects. So I've always disagreed with Sherry's viewpoint, and unfortunately I have been right 100% of the time when it comes down to that. They've never really accurately laid out their kind of expenses and how much they're burning through. They've always just misjudged that. So especially Sherry recently did say that they have sufficient amount of cash up until I think it was mid-2024. Clearly, very much wrong. I did say that it was going to occur in Q3, so even what recently happened was earlier than what I assumed. So again, that is unfortunately a good summarization of why Lucid is going down, in combination with unfortunately, I don't believe they are staying on the Russell 3000, if I do remember correctly. So this today is the last day for them to stay on that obviously Russell 3000, which does mean when I go over here as far as the ETFs, some of these ETFs will actually have to reduce their position in Lucid, obviously because of its kind of removal of the Russell 3000 or on the Russell 3000. Currently there's 129 ETFs that do physically hold Lucid, but like I said, that might be changing over the next little bit. When it comes down to options activity today though, there is a grand total of $4.13 million worth of puts being purchased versus 1.58 million in calls. So even in that regard, even though this is just a little bit more of a sentiment, people are anticipating that Lucid is going to continue to trend down, which is very unfortunate because Lucid does have a very good actual product, just management. It does really boil down to management. The fact that even over the last, I think, year and a half, or potentially even less, they've done 2 massive whole VP changes. So they've cycled out at least 6 different VPs 2 separate times, which kind of goes to show that they don't know what they are doing at the upper level, meaning Peter. And I've said that from the get-go. Peter is a very, very brilliant individual, but whether he is the right CEO, who knows? And unfortunately, I feel that is starting to cycle around. So let me know you guys' thoughts on that in the comments below. Over and above that, though, there is also that underlying fear of Powell. So Powell has indicated that there is going to be most likely a couple interest rate hikes in the coming future. That's also getting factored into the stock price. And a lot of companies that are heavily reliant on debt, such as Lucid, is just hit so much more. So you kind of have a combination of all 3 points that I did bring up. But like I mentioned, it is just all relative. This is short-term stuff. This is why I did decide to buy in at, like I mentioned, $5.80. As what I did say conveniently on my last video, because this has all very much been predictable stuff on how it's going to continue to trend down. And the only sticky scenario that people need to really watch for is if it does break below $5, because if a stock does break below $5 for 10 consecutive days, it is considered a penny stock, and a lot of institutions cannot hold penny stocks, unfortunately, in their trusts or they're on margin, so they do have to tentatively sell. This is why you do see a lot of institutions or companies, I guess per se, doing reverse stock splits as it gets close to $5. SoFi recently did that as well, and that was to protect SoftBank, but SoftBank has recently gone out of that. So let me know you guys' thoughts on that in the comments below. I don't see it getting below $5 in my opinion. I do feel that if this 550 support can hold, then it can easily trend up from here to around back to the $6 range. But generally speaking, like I said, we are basically staring off the edge of a cliff right now. Virtual cliff, of course. Let me know you guys' thoughts, or do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree? I'm completely open, and like I've always said in the past, I am not a financial advisor. These videos are strictly for entertainment purposes only. Keep in mind, looking at Stochastic though, it is at 7. Gravity is going to come out fairly soon, one time or another, within the next probably 2 months at the latest. And this is where hypothetically, once that does come out, and assuming it is, let's say for argument's sake, 80,000, then the stock price should go up very fast as a result. Because 80,000 is fairly acceptable in my opinion, and I feel like the market is going to really much take that as a very, very good catalyst. And looking here, number of retail investors were getting out today more specifically. I'm not necessarily sure why, but they were really buying the dip yesterday, similar to what happened with myself. So I saw that as a pretty significant deal in my opinion. So let me know you guys' thoughts on Lucid in the comments below. Are you buying? Are you selling? What is your take on Lucid today, and where do you see things going in the short term, long term? What's your take on all of that? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And even though Lucid is going down sideways wherever it is going, take advantage of some solid promos with Moomoo. Link in the description below and also the comments. Sign up for a free account, you get 1 free stock, and each stock is valued up to $2,000, so it is a complete no-brainer. And as you can see, throw $100 at the account, you get 5 free stocks plus $100 cash reward. So this is legitimately an amazing deal. It is a free promo, and this is only up until June the 30th. So let me know you guys' thoughts on all this. With that said though, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.